Welcome. I'm Pat Connor with Vicoding University, and today I want to talk to you about speed reading. Speed reading is so misunderstood. Uh, wouldn't it be nice to read at 2,000 words a minute? I mean, that's 10 times the normal reading speed of 200 to 250 words per minute. That's reading a 200-page book in a half hour. I mean, maybe before bedtime or lunch. Wouldn't that be great? Okay. But isn't that for geniuses and special people only? I mean, normal people like you and me don't speed read, do we? Okay. Well, today I want you to consider that it is possible. Now, for you to understand this, I want to quickly go through the normal reading process. The normal reading process is a verbal process. By 5 years of age, we are very good at the verbal process. In fact, some 5-year-olds can talk your ear off. I mean, I have a couple of 5-year-olds that I'm around that will drive you crazy. Anyway, by 5 years old, that process is very, very, very strong. Okay, reading just moves on from there. When we look at written material, we look at the words, we try to figure out how to say those words. It's called phonics. And then from the phonics, we say those words to ourselves, listen to them, and understand what they say. And that's just a normal conversation. It's like having a conversation with the book, right? Okay. That's normal reading. Now, because this verbal process is so strong, when people started looking at speed reading, they tried to figure out, well, what are some tricks we can do to make people read faster? Well, one of the things they talked about was if you didn't sub-vocalize, you could read faster. Well, that's pretty strong inside us. So basically what they tried to get us to do is really be real silent and quiet about it. So they tried to make us silently read, right? So it's and then they want to make us do it faster, so they talked about regression. They said, well, you need to get a pacer, okay? So you get a pacer so you can make this silent talking to yourself faster, and you can pace yourself faster. It's sort of like speed talking to yourself. So most speed reading courses guarantee they will double your reading speed. And the way they double your reading speed is they make you talk to yourself faster. It's like watching a YouTube video. If you watch a YouTube video or any other video and you put it on 2x, all of a sudden the person's talking very fast, you can still understand what they're saying, can't you? I mean, it's a little crazy, but you still can at twice the speed understand what they're saying. And you can talk to yourself and still understand what you're saying as well. And that's sort of what a lot of speed reading is all about. Then another type of speed reading was learning to read only the important part. And this is my favorite one, right? Okay, only read the important parts, right? Skip the others. Okay, well, how do you know what's important and what's not important? That's sort of difficult. But they say, well, if you survey it and look at it, you'll figure this out. Or they tell you, oh, don't worry, it's just the first sentence and the last sentence of a paragraph. Just read those, skip the rest. So that's skimming. That's not speed reading, right? So there's been a lot of sort of controversy about this speed reading, but can you really read? Can a normal person really read at 2,000 words a minute? Okay, and I'm going to tell you, yes, they can, but it has to do with a training, and we've introduced a new term for it. Okay, because of all the confusion with speed reading, we've introduced the term vicoding. Okay, and vicoding is simply seeing. Vicoding is seeing. Yes, we see with our minds, okay? And we're going to train our mind to see visual code. So to see the visual code of language written on a piece of paper and understand what it means, okay? So we're going to train our minds to do that, vicoding. So the visual understanding of the coded language. Okay, so now real quickly, if you look around, can you see? Yeah, if you can see, what's around you, then you can vicode. All right. If you have been trained to see all the codes in the physical world and understand what they mean. The code for what a tree looks like, the code for what a dog or a cat looks like. I mean, if I lined up 10 dogs in front of you and they're of different breeds, you wouldn't just see dog, 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 dog. You would see all the different dogs because you can see all these little fine details. Okay, details are not a problem for your mind. It is very good at this, and it can see multiple things all at once. You can see 10 dogs all at once. You can see, a tree, a dog, a cat, a horse, and a car, a street, all that stuff in one picture all at once. And you make sense of it. So you understand it. That's what seeing is. Vicoding, you want to get this picture, is that you're going to be, if you open up a book and then you walk down into the book, and you're going to be seeing, just seeing as you walk around in those words, and things are going to pop into your mind. See, Vicoding is a training. I really have got to get you to understand this one part. It is a training. It is not a trick. Vicoding is a training, not a trick. So what is a training? Well, we consciously do things, and we can do one thing at a time consciously, and it is slow. If we have to stop, it takes 2.5 seconds because we have to consciously see something and consciously stop. But Vicoding is instantaneous. Seeing is instantaneous. If you look around, it doesn't take 2.5 seconds to say, oh, it's a tree. No, you recognize it. It's a tree instantly and automatically. In fact, you can't stop seeing it as a tree. Okay, so what we do is we take the conscious doing and train the subconscious to do it for us. So training is when you take the conscious doing and take the subconscious do it for you. Now the subconscious does things at the speed of thought. It does things instantaneously. And it doesn't do one thing at a time. It does multiple things at a time. You see the dog, the tree, the cat, the horse, the cat, all at once. It puts together the dog. It puts together the cat. I mean, you see this and you can tell what kind of dog, what kind of car, what kind of thing it is with just one glance at looking at stuff. Your subconscious can do multiple things all at one instantaneous. And it's effortlessly. Okay, when you learn to Vicode, you're going to be walk down in that book and you won't be able to stop seeing. In other words, when you look at written material, things will pop in your mind. You can't stop them from popping into your mind. Okay, well, a lot of times verbal reading is effortful because you got to figure out how to say the word. Did I say it properly? Is that really what it was? Sound it out. All that crazy stuff, and it's effortful, because your conscious has to be involved with a lot of the process. Vicoding, it doesn't. Okay, so you can effortlessly put together things, and you can do it all at once. Okay, I sort of had to laugh when I first introduced this idea to my wife. I showed her a page of words, and she says, "I can see that whole page of words. They just don't mean anything to me." And it's because she hasn't been trained on how to put things together, what those codes mean, how those codes get, what that combination of things means. She doesn't see the sentences pop out at her. She doesn't see the paragraphs pop out at her. Things don't pop out because she hasn't been trained to have those things pop out at her. Okay, so Vicoding is a training of our mind to look at visual code and instantly understand what it means at the subconscious level. Okay, so here at now one of the biggest challenges is that most humans aren't trained on how to train themselves. So here at Vicoding University, we train humans on how to train themselves, and we also train them on how to Vicode. Okay, so let's just review here real quickly here. So verbally, 210 words a minute. Why? Because it's a linear process, one point at a time, and it's at the speed of talking and a little faster. Fast talking. Okay. Vicoding, it's at the subconscious level. Okay. So it's the speed of thought in multiple locations, all at once, put together instantaneously or effortlessly, and just pops in our mind the meaning because we're trained. Okay. That's Vicoding. So again, not speed reading. I really don't want to get it confused with all those tricky things. Vicoding is seeing. So Vicoding. I'm Pat Connor with Vicoding University, training humans to train themselves.